Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what's my purpose in life? Isn't that what we all want, to live a life full of meaning, direction and significance? So many of us wonder, why am I here? But here's something interesting. Maybe instead of starting with our why, we should actually end with it. According to a study by the New York Times, only 25% of Americans truly know their life's purpose. That means most people are just going through life without really knowing why they're here. That statistic really shocked me. As I traveled the world and spoke to people from all walks of life, I started to understand what purpose really means. It took me almost 10 years to discover my own. I even wrote a book about it, and in that book, I shared a concept I call the cycle of unfulfilling purpose. This cycle has 4 main stages. The first stage is transition. We all face big changes in life. Things like getting married, having a child, graduating from school, or even leaving a sport we once dreamed of going pro in. Sometimes it's something painful, like losing a loved one. These moments can shake us deeply and change the course of our lives. That brings us to the second stage, confusion. This is when we feel lost. We no longer know who we are or what we're supposed to do next. We feel stuck, lacking clarity and direction. It can feel heavy, and honestly, this stage can last a long time for some people, even a lifetime. But here's the good news. If we're able to move past confusion, we enter the third stage, momentum. This is when we start taking steps, gaining clarity, and creating real results in our lives. Now let me ask you, which stage do you think you're in right now? Transition, confusion, or momentum? Let me know in the comments. And don't worry, no matter where you are, you're not alone, and there's always a way forward. Once we move into that third stage, momentum, we start to gain crystal clear clarity about what we need to do. We feel like we've found our life's purpose. Maybe it's the perfect job, or we've started something we truly believe in. Now remember, purpose is the reason behind what we do. So I could be going to work every day, moving up in my career, and providing for my family. And yes, I might feel like I have a purpose. But then comes the fourth stage, and this is the toughest one, unhappiness and lack of fulfillment. Even with the job, the responsibilities and the success, you suddenly look up and ask yourself, is this all there is? Is there more to life than this? That's the moment we realize we need to step out of the cycle. Because the truth is, just doing something with a sense of purpose is not enough. We need to find our true life's purpose, the one that brings happiness, fulfillment, and a deep desire to grow, contribute, and truly live. Here's something powerful. Finding your purpose is actually the easy part. But living it, that's what transforms your life. Let's break down the word purpose for a second. The prefix per is used to mean set forth beforehand, something planned in advance. It's also found in the word pure, meaning without blemish or the truest intention. And the word pose means to suggest or to intend. So, purpose literally stands for the purest suggestion or intention that was set forth before anything began. That's powerful, right? Now, let's take something simple, like the chairs you're sitting on. Each of you is using the chair differently. Some of you in the back are clearly using it as a bed. Yep, I see you. Some are using it as a place to rest, while others are using it as a chance to sit and learn something new. Here's the thing, the user defines the purpose in that moment. But what about the creator of the chair? The inventor, what was their purpose when they designed it? Because if the user's purpose is completely different from the creator's purpose, then something is out of alignment. So here's a question for you. Do you think you're living life based on your own idea of purpose, or the one your creator had in mind for you? Let me know in the comments. This could be the first step in discovering something truly life-changing. When we live outside of our true purpose, we end up feeling unfulfilled and frustrated. Think about it like this. If I tried to use this chair as a bed, and that's not what it was created for, I'm going to struggle, right? It's the same with our lives. Our life's purpose wasn't something we were supposed to invent. It was already predetermined, set forth before we were even born. That realization changed everything for me. For so long, I believed I had to create my purpose. But the truth is, our Creator, a higher power with the purest intentions and no flaws, had already decided our purpose before we ever took our first breath. Now here subters the choice we all have to make. Do we live according to our own version of purpose, or do we choose to align with the purpose our Creator designed for us? One of my favorite quotes from Mark Twain says, "The two most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." So what's our real job? It's simply to align ourselves with that purpose, the one we were created for. And instead of asking, "Why am I here?" a better question to ask is, "Who am I called to serve?" Because when we step into a place of service, everything changes. Right away, we feel a deep sense of significance, meaning, and purpose. The focus shifts from me to who. It's not about me anymore. It's about who I can help, who I can serve, and how I can make a difference. And you know what's amazing? Science backs this up too. When we serve others, our brain literally lights up like a Christmas tree. It's something researchers call the helper's high. When we help someone, our brain releases feel-good chemicals like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. We feel fulfilled, happy, and energized. So here sits my question for you. Who in your life do you feel called to serve right now? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That feeling we get when we serve others, that rush of joy and connection, it's incredible. In fact, it's the same brain response we get from other powerful experiences like sex, sugar, social media, drugs, or alcohol. All five trigger the same chemical reaction in our brain. But here sits the difference. The first four, sex, sugar, social media, and substances, are usually about serving ourselves. They're focused on pleasure, escape, or validation. And yes, they can be addictive. But the fifth one, serving others, is already built within us. It's something internal that creates positive change outside of us. It's the one addiction that leads to purpose, connection, and fulfillment. Now, once you know who you're called to serve, the next important question is, what problems am I called to solve? Start with someone you can relate to, someone who's had similar experiences to you. Think about your own journey. What struggles have you faced? What challenges have you overcome? Chances are there's someone out there facing the exact same thing right now, and they need your help. And here's where things get even more interesting. This is how you get paid. Let me ask you, who here likes the idea of getting paid to solve meaningful problems? Well, just been guessing, everyone. Because the income you earn is directly connected to the problems you solve. The bigger the problem, the bigger the solution, the more value you bring, the higher the reward. The smaller the problem, the smaller the impact, the smaller the reward. So start small if you need to. Serve someone you care about, then ask, what problem do they have? What problem have I already overcome that could help them? Often your ability to solve that problem comes from your own life experience, especially those tough, painful, or even traumatic moments that shaped you. The things you've been through didn't happen to you. They happened for you, so you could help others through the same storm. Finally, ask yourself the third question. How am I called to solve this problem? This is where you get to be creative. There are thousands of ways to solve one problem. You can write, speak, teach, coach, build, design, volunteer, whatever fits your gifts and personality. And in today's world with technology at our fingertips, The possibilities are endless. Every single day, someone is creating a new solution to a problem. But here's the thing, that's actually the easiest part of the journey. Once you know who you're called to serve and what problems you're called to solve, the solution becomes clear. It's like a light bulb turns on. From a practical and strategic standpoint, your goal should be to create the most effective and efficient solution possible so you can help the greatest number of people. So let's recap the 3 key questions that help you discover your life's purpose. 1. Who am I called to serve? 2. What problems am I called to solve? 3. How am I called to solve these problems? These 3 answers lead to something powerful, your purpose statement. It's a simple sentence that brings it all together. I help who with their problem through 7 your solution. For example, here sets my purpose statement. I help young adults and business owners who lack clarity, confidence and direction by guiding them to discover their life's purpose through live events, books and presentations. And I've been doing exactly that for the past several years. Once you've created your purpose statement, the next step is to validate it with your whys. Ask yourself, why do I do what I do? Am I doing it just for myself, for money, for validation? Or am I doing it because I genuinely care and want to help others? Or even deeper, am I doing it to serve my Creator? Because when we live to serve our Creator, and that becomes the center of our life, we begin to express the highest form of love, the same love that was expressed when we were created. And when we align with that deeper purpose, 3 powerful things begin to show up in our lives. 1. Peace. Do you feel peace with what you're doing? Because if you think you've found your purpose but don't feel peace, it might be time to pause and realign. 2. The other 2 indicators could be added here if you want to include them. Just let me know. So here's a question for you to reflect on. What's your purpose statement, and why do you do what you do? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to read them and support you on your journey. The second indicator that you're aligned with your true purpose is passion. Ask yourself, do I actually enjoy what I'm doing? Because the truth is, we're all wired differently. Each of us has unique strengths, talents, and interests. Some people love solving problems. Others love creating, teaching, building, designing, or leading. Your passion is often a clue to your purpose. So do you wake up feeling excited about the day ahead? Are you energized by the work you're doing right now? That sense of joy and anticipation is a sign you're on the right track. And finally, the third indicator is this. Are people willing to pay me for it? Yes, purpose is about meaning, but it's also practical. We're meant to provide for our families, support our communities, and use money as a tool to do good. Money isn't the purpose, it's just the vehicle. But when you can get paid for solving problems that matter, that's when purpose and provision align. So, let's put it all together. Your life's purpose is to serve your Creator by serving others, and you do that through your unique purpose statement. You can fill in the blanks for yourself. I help who with their problem through your solution. Simple, powerful, and life-changing. So remember, start with who you sit called to serve. Discover what problems you're meant to solve. Find how you are equipped to solve them. Act our hand with why you do it, what drives you at the deepest level, and validate it with peace, passion, and provision. When all of that lines up, you'll know you're living in your purpose, and that's when real impact begins. Let's serve the world together, on purpose, with purpose. Thank you for being here. Now tell me in the comments, what's one passion you have that could lead to your purpose? I'd love to hear from you.